All right, guys, so the next case that I want to talk about is the case of Martha Evans, who went by Marty. So Marty was 33 years old when she was last seen in the Astoria, Oregon area in 1990. On the evening of February 10th of 1990, Marty goes to her best friend's wedding where she was the bridesmaid. This is an actual picture of her in the bridesmaid's dress. Now, at some point during that reception that was held at this place called the Loggers, she told some friends that she had to go to Warrenton to go get something and that she'd be back within the hour. Here's the actual building where this reception was. It was the Logger restaurant, but in the back here there was a lounge room, and that's where this reception was apparently. And here's a map of the area. So Astoria, Oregon is up there. There's Warrenton, there's Napa where the reception is, and Brownsmead is where her mother's home was. And at some point, I believe it was before the reception, but if somebody else knows for sure, let me know. I believe before the reception, she was at her mom's house. Her mom says that she had a very emotional conversation on the phone. She assumed it was with either her boyfriend or her ex-husband, but she had an intense conversation on the phone. She had borrowed $4 in gas from a family member, and then off she went, and here's the truck that she was driving. So it was her brother's truck, and this is the Oregon license plate that was on the truck. It's described as having dents all over the truck, and there was a 7-Up sticker in the window. All right, so Marty leaves the Logger restaurant lounge around 9:30 p.m. She goes to the D&D market, which is also where you can get gas, and put that $4 of gas in her truck, and it wouldn't start. So she calls her brother comes down and gives her a jump. The brother says that he goes into the store and he was kind of worried that that charge wouldn't hold in the truck. So he goes in the store, grabs something, and comes out to follow her and didn't see her anywhere. And that she had even mentioned that she was going to Warrenton, which again is where her boyfriend that she was seeing at the time lived. According to her boyfriend, she never showed up to Warrenton. She was also supposed to meet up with her sister at a restaurant in Astoria, I believe, this Hong Kong restaurant. She never shows up there either. Now, I will say that I don't even know what the boyfriend's name is. All I know is that he lived in Warrenton. He worked at Fred Meyer's. He lived nearby. Don't know what his alibi was. There has not been any mention anywhere that I could find. And Marty and this truck has never been located. The sister, Linda, I believe her name is, also said in an interview that while she was at the Logger Lounge restaurant, that she was on the payphone and also had a very emotional conversation. She was crying. Her sister believes that she was on the phone with her boyfriend, and maybe that's why she had to get up and go to Warrenton where he lived and would be back in an hour, but she never grabbed her purse. She never said who she was going to see, nothing. And I'm not from the area, so I could be wrong, but when I put it into the map from Napa, where that reception was, into Warrenton, it was like a 15-mile drive. And I know gas was probably real cheap back then, but she only was running on $4 in gas. So what happened to Marty? Did she get into some kind of accident? I will say that the organization Adventures with Purpose that do the dives in the water did intensive searches along the waterway there because there is a lot of water on Highway 30. They searched a lot of different areas, but nothing ever came up. And Marty had been drinking that night. So yes, it is possible that she was in some kind of accident, went off the roadway, and they just have not located her yet. There's also been other rumors out there that the ex-husband was involved, that the boyfriend was involved, but again, we don't know who their alibi was that I could find anyways. There was also rumors that I thought was interesting that the brother was talking about this set of brothers, the Moore brothers, who could have been involved in her unaliving and disposed of her in the ocean, or something about a barge in the water. Yeah, there's a lot of theories out there, but because they've never found her and they've never found the vehicle, there's just, this story could go in so many different ways. There could be so many different possibilities. So if you know anything at all about what happened to Marty, if you were in the area at the time, seen anything, if you've heard any stories over the years, you never know what your tip could bring to this case. So Marty was 5'3" to 5'4", about 110 pounds, and she was last seen wearing the bridesmaid's dress, also a black leather jacket, black nylons, black heels, some hoop earrings, and I just want to say she's absolutely beautiful. Every picture I've seen of her, she's absolutely stunning. So I just want to get her information out there. If you know anything at all, please contact the Oregon State Police. And also remember, this truck has never been located. Is it in the water? Has it been destroyed? Has it been redone somewhere? Is it sitting in somebody's garage? It could look completely different right now. But again, this was the original license plate number that was on there. There was supposedly a bunch of dents in the truck. There was a 7-Up sticker. Now, if there was some kind of foul play, I would assume that the truck, if it's still in one piece, it looks very different. But if you see a license plate like that or a truck that matches a description, let the Oregon State Police know because it could be the truck.